today we're making
gingerbread.
Gingerbread. So not gingerbread, but more like gingerbread cookies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to start with our dry ingredients. We have a total of 12 cups of flour. I don't have a 12 cup measure, so I have a 4 cup and an 8 cup.
Oh.
I know. This is when having that commercial mixer comes in real handy. So we have a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of cloves. Do you know what that is?
No.
No. That is ground ginger, 8 teaspoons. What's that?
Ginger?
What is
Cinnamon.
ginger? That's cinnamon. 8 teaspoons of cinnamon. I was going to say, you should know that. That used to be your favorite thing. And we're just going to mix together the dry ingredients. So Jonah had this wonderful idea, as he is wont to do, to make a giant cake surrounded by gingerbread, right? For his teachers. So, we get to make gingerbread.
Can I try mixing them up?
Sure. Just be very careful because there's a lot in there and it's going to get everywhere because the bowl is just...
Very tiny.
Yeah, that's not very tiny. It's the biggest bowl we have, but it's just the right size for what you've got. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to head on over to the mixer where we're going to mix our butter and eggs. Okay, for our wet ingredients, we have 3 sticks of butter, which is a 1.5 cups, and then 3 cups of packed brown sugar that we're going to pour in here. We have our paddle attachment in, and we're just going to mix this until that butter and sugar are light and fluffy. Should take about 5 minutes. All right. You see how light and fluffy that is?
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That looks like frosting.
I know, but it's not. Okay, now we're going to add 4 eggs and mix that up again. And then we're going to add 2 cups of molasses. That's what gives gingerbread that dark color, and it enhances the flavor of all of the spices we put in, the ginger and the cinnamon and the cloves. All right, we are thoroughly combined. You see? Now we're going to add 2 cups of molasses. And I have this handy cup measure that will allow me to pour and then scrape through the sides as we push it all out, just so that we get all of the 2 cups, and you don't get that. You know how that residue sticks when you have like syrup? You don't have that with this cup measure, which is one of my favorite things on earth. All right, now we're going to mix this up. And then we'll add our dry ingredients. All right, now our molasses is thoroughly incorporated. Can you see how thick that is?
Yeah.
So we're going to add this flour to it, and it's going to become a really dry mixture, which is why we have
the water.
the water. And so the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons and some. So what we're going to do is add 2 tablespoons and see how it looks, and then add 2 more or 1 more until we get to the right consistency, which is always important. So we incorporate the flour slowly. If you do it all at once, it won't all combine. And you'll have a mess, and flour will come out the top of your mixer. It's not fun. But see how thick that's getting?
Yeah, should I pour some water?
Not yet. Now look at all the water, the flour we have left to incorporate. Can you imagine how thick the dough is going to be by the time we're done?
Oh, yeah.
That's why we keep the water on hand. Now we know what I'm supposed to do. Okay. So, I goofed. I was supposed to change this out to the dough hook before I added the flour. So, let's take a moment. not too late because we're not at the end yet. But we need the dough hook. It's the only way that it's going to incorporate everything the right way because this mixture is going to get too thick.
And if it gets too thick, does that mean your mixer won't work anymore?
It'll blow out the motor in my mixer if it tries to use it with this attachment. And that's
not so good.
no. Let's try this again. Whew. And then we're going to have to add that water. We're going to do 1 tablespoon at a time. Okay. You see how dry and drizzly it is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so add 1 tablespoon. Good. 1 more. Let's do 2 to start. And then we want the mixture to come together like a dough, but not be sticky. Because if it's too sticky, then it won't roll out the right way. It'll stick to every surface, every cutter, everything. So we want it to be more like bread dough, which is compact and together, but dry. Yeah, if it's too dry, it gets crumbly. Down. The only problem with a recipe this large is that you're going to constantly have to push everything down the sides. All right, Jenna, let's try 1 more tablespoon. Got it? Perfect. Now we're going to wrap up our dough and stick it in the refrigerator. It has to chill for about an hour before we can start using it. So now our gingerbread is mixed. We're going to put it, usually I would chill this overnight, but we're going to try to do it in just an hour. So to do that, we're going to have to spread the dough out. Easiest way to do that is put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. Layer another piece of parchment paper over it. Let's get this out of the way real quick. Can you hold this? Nope, you gotta hold it steady. There you go. There you go. All right. Good job. Okay. Now we're gonna add more. Got it steady? I know it's hard, isn't it? You want to roll? No. Okay. Give me just a second. Let me finish this one and we'll do 1 more. Okay. These are easy jobs.
This one's probably more fun.
Huh?
So this is supposed to be more fun.
Well, I know you're more fun, but it's not easy. Alright, I think we're good. Now we're going to put this in the refrigerator for an hour, come back, measure out the sizes of gingerbread that we need, and we'll get to baking. So, best laid plans. We were supposed to finish this yesterday. However, I'm a mom, and things get in the way. So, we're back here today. Our gingerbread has been chilling overnight, and we're gonna roll it out and cook it. So first we have to put a little bit of flour down because we don't want the gingerbread to stick to the counter, right?
No.
Swirl it around. We're gonna take sprinkle on top? What do you want to do, baby?
I want to roll it.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if we can get it rolled yet, or if we need to let it warm up a little. We should probably give it about 10 minutes to warm up because I'm having trouble rolling it.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good. All right, we're finally at a temperature that we can roll it out, right? So pick up your rolling pin.
You roll it?
Mm-hmm. You have to put your back into it when you roll that out. Roll a little more. You're getting enough on this end, not on that end. There you go. Okay. Don't roll it all the way over the edge because you're flattening it. See how you're making an indentation here? You want to make it the same thickness all the way across. There you go. Now, stop. Let go. It helps to go both ways. Back and forth. Okay, this is about the thickness we need. It's about 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to take the template that we made and we're going to cut along. Okay. We're going to pick it up and put on our parchment lined paper. So we have 4 panels done. I've got 12 to do, so we're going to be here a while. But in the meantime, we're going to cook these. They bake in a 350-degree oven for 7 to 9 minutes. We're going to start it at 7 and see how we do. So our gingerbread took about 10 minutes to cook. It's been out of the oven. We're going to let it sit here for about 5 minutes, let it cool off just a little on the pan, and then transfer it to a wire rack so that it can cool all the way around. So it's been 5 minutes. Now we're going to slowly lift our gingerbread off of the cookie sheet and lay it on a wire rack so that it can cool. And once it's fully cool, which is in a couple hours, we will start to decorate. Now we are actually going to let this cool overnight, and we'll do the decorating tomorrow when you get home from school. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.